Here's quite a nice example from Nissan. So we've heard quite a lot about remarketing today. So what Nissan did is they ran a TrueView campaign, but they also ran a sequential remarketing campaign. Sequential remarketing is basically where you collect audience signals, and then depending on what the behaviour was from those audience signals, you show them a different ad every single time. So they had a series of ads that they ran. Initially, they got 2.2 million views in 2 months, which generated a cookie pull list of about 1.4 million people. And then the ones who had watched that ad, they showed them the next ad. They got about 60,000 people, 60,000 users who watched half of the ads. Stay with me. Then they remarketed again to people who watched half of the ads and showed them a follow-on ad, and so on and so on and so on. So in total, there were 10 minutes of ads. 2,000 people watched all 10 minutes of ads. So unless you watched the entire ad previously, you didn't get the next ad, if that makes sense. And using standard auto industry metrics, 2,000 prospects, 2,000 leads of that high quality should generate about 16 car sales. That's what the car industry tells us. So that campaign would have delivered a 500% ROI just from using TrueView and sequential remarketing. And more straightforward on conversions, Islamic Relief were running a TV campaign. They wanted to expand that TV campaign through TrueView. Using the YouTube platform, using TrueView, they got a 51% CPA reduction and a 45% increase in online donations. So the core metrics of the campaign were absolutely achieved, were not smashed out of the water. So if we look at the cost of a view and the true value of a view, we're getting all these things for free. So TrueView on its own is a hugely successful product. But once you've factored in all of these other things that you're getting for nothing, it becomes even more valuable to you as advertisers. Now, I'm sure you're all right on top of Google as they announce new product launches. This is, for me, is where it gets potentially really, really interesting. So on Wednesday, we launched this. I don't know if anyone's seen this little dongle down here. So this is Chromecast. So what Chromecast is something you just plug into the HDMI slot on the back of your telly, and essentially it gives you the ability to show whatever on your tablet or your smartphone or your laptop onto your TV seamlessly. So in theory, it means that any ads that you're running on YouTube become TV ads. So you might not have a TV ad budget, but it doesn't matter anymore because you can actually run ads that are running on YouTube directly onto your TV. And the most exciting thing is the price point. It's $35. It's so successful, it's sold out in about 2 hours in the US. But I'm led to believe they're going to get some more in on Sunday, so I'm sending Finton over to New York to buy a bunch for us. Have a word with him in the break. So, we've got all this going on, but one of the beautiful things about a platform like YouTube is that we can tell you a huge amount about what your audience, who your audience is, and what they're doing. So from the top line, we can tell you exactly who's engaging with your ads, both in terms of their age and their demographic. And we can also tell you what interests they've got. So how much more likely are they to watch your ad over the standard YouTube user? So for example, if you were Adidas, for the sake of argument, or if you were fashion and beauty, you could actually target your ad to a specific set of users who are much more likely to engage with that piece of content over other users. But to go a bit deeper within YouTube analytics, obviously, Toby and Ollie were talking a lot about measurement earlier. This is sort of the optimization element of YouTube. So, you can look at your viewers, you can try and understand, they're over 55, under 24, which part of the country are they coming from? Are they coming from overseas? And you can try and use those signals to target better campaigns. But then you can look at the engagement of your ad. So, how many people watched all of your ad? How many people watched 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds? When do people switch off? And we're starting to see advertisers actually use this as a way of feeding into their production for their next ad campaign. So, running 3 or 4 ads on YouTube, seeing which ones work, seeing which ones get the most engagement, and then using those ones to actually expand across either the rest of the web or onto TV. And then platforms, how many people are watching on smartphone, on tablet, on desktop? How many people are using Chromecast? So all of these signals can help you to actually fine-tune your campaigns as you go and optimize as you go and measure. Now, obviously, I know what you're thinking. It all sounds great in theory, but no one's really doing this in practice. Guess what? They are. So here's a case study that was launched just a couple of days ago. This is Austin Reed, and they had a really, really simple brief: create a YouTube campaign to support a new collaboration with a famous designer who's been in Liberties, amongst others. Raise awareness of the new collection, and most importantly, drive online sales of the new collection. I think that's the really, really key bit. We're talking about YouTube for performance here. So what did they do? It was a pretty simple setup, really. It wasn't particularly complicated. They made a 30-second ad relatively cheaply. And then in the first two boxes, they content targeted on relevant topics. So you can imagine which ones they were. It was about people who are much more likely to be interested in men, who are much more interested in fashion. And they used 50 keywords in search. Now, this is on the search side of things. Now, we sometimes forget YouTube is the world's second largest search engine. You're never going to get the same volumes as you do on Google.com, but you're probably going to get bigger volumes than many other search players that might be out there. And then the second piece was on remarketing, and so this feeds into everything that you've heard before, and this is where it starts to become much more interesting. So using content and in search to drive people either to the channel or to the Austin Reed website, and collecting those signals. Who's been to the channel, who's been to the website, and specifically they're looking at the suits and shirts pages on the website. This is how the spend actually broke down. So the large majority of sales did actually come from remarketing to the websites. They use YouTube to drive people to the website, and that enabled more sales to take place. I'm just going to share with you, actually. I've got these written down because some of these are quite crazy. So some of the other stats that they shared with us. So there was a 20% cost of sale for the entire campaign. They hit that. The remarketing piece achieved 13%. So close to 50% less than their cost of sale for the campaign. 10% of all the viewers of the ad clicked through to the website at no extra cost. So it was completely free, because click-throughs don't cost anything on YouTube. I probably should have said that earlier. There's one remarketing story which I love. So somebody came from the website, and they were watching a video of a German actor who was in Das Boot. I don't know if anyone's seen this 1981 movie. It's very good, actually. He was singing a song in German with a psychedelic background. The view cost 8p. The sale was worth 420 quid. So it's unlikely you would have targeted that piece of content if you hadn't used remarketing. But because you were targeting the user rather than the piece of content, it actually meant that you got the sale. One other one, actually. So how to wear a suit, they spent 68p in total on how to wear a suit search terms. And from one sale alone, they got 168 quid suit sold from how to wear a suit. So just thinking about what the audience might be searching for. Really, really nice case study, really, really simple. We can help you build this campaign. iCrossing can help you build this type of campaign. And finally, I know what you're thinking. Video ads, they're expensive. They're not for me. I can't make video ads. Well, you can. This is a company called Whooshy. There are loads of these type of video production companies out at the moment. What Whooshy do is it's basically a community of animators and filmmakers, film producers. And essentially all you have to do is put in how much you've got to spend, what your budget is, can be as low as 500 quid, and what length of ad or what length of piece of content that you want. You'll then get somewhere between 8 and 12 is a standard, 8 and 12 responses to that brief. You pick one producer, and then they make your film. And to give you an example of the quality, I'm not going to show it today, but Deadmau5, I'm sure you're all familiar with Deadmau5. He's the bloke who DJ, wears a big mouse head. He's part of EMI. And so EMI actually used Whooshy to produce his last single. So this is high quality content, but at really, really low cost. So essentially, YouTube has got an audience that's highly engaged. And if you can find the right way of engaging with them with the right ad, you've got every chance of actually delivering the same kind of performance that we've seen from Austin Reed. That's it from me. Thank you.